Good morning, everyone. I'm Heng from Utah. Okay, today I thank you for the introductions and the invitations. And today I would like to share some information about the importance of soil organism. Okay. Soil behaves like a living entity and is a complex ecosystem because soil hosts a large number of organisms that perform a variety of functions during their growth and reproduction. The abundance and diversity of the soil organism is an important factor to maintain the soil quality and the natural ecosystem. So let's see what type of organism we can find in the soil. Easy way is to classify them based on the size. Okay, let's start with the microorganism. Microorganism is considered, the size is considered larger than 2 millimeters and can be visible to naked eyes. For example, insect millipede shred the plant residue into smaller fragments, which is easier for the microbe to decompose. Besides, earthworm, mites, or other any organism that burrowing or tunneling in the soil will translocate the nutrients from the soil surface into the subsoil or lower ground, and it also can regulate the water and air movement by making pores in the soil. Secondly, microorganisms that the size are 0.1 to 2 millimeter. Dr. Christie. Okay, thank you. So microorganisms, such as the springtail and mites, their function in the soil is to regulate the population of the other microbes by predations, relations, and also create some smaller pore for the roots hair or the hyphae of the fungus to grow. It will enhance the plant growth so that they can search for more nutrients on it. Lastly, is the microorganism that the size are smaller than 0.1 millimeter. So, okay. The microorganism is the most diverse and abundant group of microorganisms that living in the soil. They carry out a lot of metabolic activity and provide the most biomass inside. For example, protozoa and nematodes are the microfauna that they regulate the bacteria and fungus populations also. Then the other one is the most research going on is those bacteria and fungus. These two are the decomposer in the soil. They can change or release the nutrients that contain in the organic matter or those plant debris into the soil, which subsequently can absorb by the plants and used by other microbes also. Since there are twice variety, different type of organisms living together in the soil, the relationship among them or the organism is very complicated. However, they do have some similar functions and importance into the soil. So next slide, we will talk about the importance of their general functions. Each microorganism or organism that plays their own functions, the role in the nutrient cycling. Some work as the upstream, some work as the downstream. Okay, for example, the insect, the macro one, will shred the plant debris into a smaller fragment. The microbe will decompose on it, release nutrients, absorbed by the plants. So it's like a cycle on it. Besides, they also can suppress the pest and parasite disease by controlling using predator competitions, or they can also symbiotic and the other type of ecological relationship on it. The plant roots, the hyphae of the fungus, and the mucosa from the earthworm or from the plant roots, mucus from the earthworm, can form stable aggregations into the soil, which is stable the soil structure and easy for the plants to grow also. The plant's growth control can be positive and negative based on the abundance and the diversity of the microbe. For example, the positive is the microbe will exchange the nutrients with the plants and the plants provide the host care protections to those microbes. For the negative part is when the microbe abundance is above the threshold, it will cause disease. Okay, and even some are pathogenic, then it will slow down the growth of the microbe. Since all the soil organisms play all their own function inside, we need to carry out some pre-precaution steps in order to manage the population of the organism in the soil. Okay, next slide will be talk about some do and don'ts that we can apply in the field or in our small homegrown things also can. So here are some lists because there are too much to cover. So I just take one or two as an example on it. So for firstly, balanced use of fertilizer. Do not overuse or misuse the agrochemicals such as pesticide, insecticide, herbicide, others. Okay, because insecticide will kill the predatory mites, which in turn promoting the increase of bacteria or nematode. Then the OM of the in the soil will be decreased, production will be decreased because the food link, okay, is disturbing. And the beneficial decomposer was eaten up by those bacteria wall, nematodes, and the population is slowed down. And it causes the slow production on it. After that, you also will have some organic mulch, or we just put back the residue back to the soil surface to maintain the soil's moisture, and also to protecting the soil organism, because soil organism, they do not like harsh environment, too hot the weather or too dry. Besides, those residue can provide the nutrients for them also. Okay, next slide will be also is like the photo from the just now the example on it. There are too many ways to manage their population, so it's welcome if you have others do and don'ts that we can apply on it. So in conclusions, living soil is made up of various type of organisms that not only providing nutrients to the plants, they also help in maintaining the fertility of the soil and balance the natural ecosystem. So the next slide is about the food link. Okay, do not break one of it. Just try to maintain it as much as we can. Okay, that's all for my presentation. Thank you very much.